ladies and gentlemen, stay well and listen. I'm bringing good news for you, my friends. Here we go. I'm Towerhaft. Welcome to ANZ. And this is Diablo 3. Yes, that's right. I just decided to come up with a sort of brief conclusion and suggestions as well. Everything considering the patch 2.0.1. This is something I have come with after practicing a little bit with the game. This is the gear I have changed, and this is my brief analysis, or basically the second look at the patch. Let's just jump into the game, and I will get you some sort of the brief outcome with which I came. Here we go. Speaking about gear, you might have already noticed that everything has changed, like turned upside down, that's right. And my gear has changed a lot since the previous video, if you have ever watched that. Just look at that awesome looking sword over there. There's just... Anyways, it's the only weapon I could get with a socket in it, so... Anyways, but look at the amount of intelligence and vitality on every single piece of gear I have got. It's like not less than 200. Well, that's the old piece of gear. A new belt, the new helm, and the awesome new Moonlight Ward amulet that increases all arcane damage for 24%. This is why I come up with a new set of skills this time. Also, check out that little spectral doggy over there. Isn't it cute? It is even... Yes, that's right. That's because I purchased that Reaper of Souls legendary collector's edition stuff. While we are all waiting, we're gonna be seeing each other quite soon as the patch comes out.
Eyes are at the northern tip of the desolate sand.
Yes, that's right. Shut up, Mr. Zoltan. Here we go. Here's my farming route. Or basically the place I just decided to go ahead. This is what I farm these days. I just figure out that you don't have to do any pre-farming activities such as escalating your Nephilim Valor points or stack anything else, so why even bother with this? So, Desolate Sands is the location that brought me quite a lot of loot lately, so this is what I'm farming. You might ask, why do I farm on Torment 2 while I could just go ahead and use Torment 3, 4, or even higher? Well, the answer is as follows, actually, ladies and gentlemen, that also I figured out that the gear you receive does not depend on the difficulty at all. The first thing I did just to experiment with the game, I lowered the difficulty down to normal. I took all the gear I had off, so my sorceress got completely naked, and I just started I just decided to go ahead and see what the game gives to me, pretending that I am playing the game completely anew from the 0 point. And I got like almost 120k health. Now that was actually crazy. 120k health is something. And that's the new gear. So the paradigm has changed. The game actually now requires you to have almost crazy amount of HP. Unless you wanna go ahead and have yourself killed. If you have like 800 or 900 vitality and you end up with some sort of 30k or 35k health, you will be just completely screwed up. The monsters will destroy the hell out of you, actually. So you might have to look for that gear and get your vitality up. So, and since life leeching has been just almost ousted, be advised be advised that after 60th level your life leeching is reduced by 90%, and as you hit level 70, guess what happens? You might just completely forget. Oh man, this is fireworks. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It looks like a yellow parade to my sorceress. And I haven't seen monsters with additional health of late. But nobody cares. What was I speaking about? Since life leeching after level 70 is getting completely ousted from the game, or basically reduced to 0, what would you heal yourself with? Basically, what you resort to might be just health globs, these ones, yeah, exactly, and your health potions. By the way, the cooldown of health potions actually got reduced like twice, so it's twice as fast that you get your health potion back active. You might ask as well, what am I doing right now? What I'm doing is looking for this one, exactly, Vault of Assassin. This is the cave or the dungeon that contains a dead lot of monsters and bosses, which makes it a perfect spot for farming. If not the gear, then the experience. But I'm not looking for experience this time, because the Diablo has retained that feature that the main thing to actually have is the gear. And the gear does not depend on difficulty. I just started the game anew from the difficulty level of normal.
I'm just warming up.
And I actually got the very same quality gear. The gear was just the same quality as the gear that dropped me like on Torment 4. So that doesn't have any difference. No difference at all. So why even make that effort? Maybe as Reaper of Souls comes out, it might be just completely different. But nowadays, before the add-on is out, I don't see any reason fighting on high difficulty levels, just because there is no difference, and I prefer comfort and speed. At this speed I could actually farm a lot more, since my aim is gear. That's the common problem. The old gear is like hell inefficient. This is why everybody nowadays looks for some sort of new gear and new stuff, and how to gear your character up sufficiently enough to stand up to the foes. Look how many explosions I deliver. Whoa! You're actually crazy. Whoa!
I must wait longer.
Whoa! I actually don't want to die this time. Haha. Well, don't you think I'm inefficient, guys? That's only because I'm just getting too... I'm just getting too self-confident this time. This is why I end up with this situation. Look how many monsters there are in this particular cave. Whoa! Every single one of them could potentially have dropped a nice piece of loot. This is why I'm farming this place. And as soon as I clear this cave of monsters, I could just easily restart the game once anew, because why should I care about it? I don't have to get my Nephilim Valor up.
I am so good. I astound myself.
This is where I got my new sword. This is where I got that super duper amulet. If you haven't actually seen, I might show you that those orbiting orbs are not the only thing that orbits me. Look at those arcane crystals out there. Those crystals are generated only and purely by the amulet I have,
See me now.
delivering gigantic explosions like 15 yards around me. Which makes it rather fast. If you are like interested in long runs, you may just also add the other dungeons of the Desolate Sands, which are also beneficial, but I guess this one is the most beneficial out of them all. What else I wanted to speak about is how I used my Paragon skill points. Well, I didn't see any particular use in boosting my running speed or the amount of arcane power, because I just feel comfortable as it is with the amount I already have. So the core points all went to intelligence. The offense points. Speak about the offense points. The game actually gets you a lot of items with intelligence and vitality, and a lot less items that contain something like a critical hit chance, or if they do contain critical hit chance, that chance is pretty much lower. Like I got the gloves that got me 7.5 chance of critical hit instead of 10 that I used to have with my previous gloves. But my previous gear, as I have already mentioned, like really lacked what is now called toughness. And without toughness, I don't feel like I can farm efficiently those high level difficulties and high monster powers. If you ever have to. This is why I set this task as a priority for me, just to gear up first. And to gear up, I'm farming this place. I haven't got anything sweet off yet. But I'm guessing that's just because a bad day for me.
I am returning to town.
This is actually the point I would get back, leave the game, and load it up again to start another run just because I want to. I'm not gonna do it just now, I'm just gonna briefly sum up the information for you. So you go to Desolate Sands, search for the Vault of Assassin, and clear the cave all through. Nothing, drop to you, then reload, and repeat the action once again. That's the farming route I came up with. Paragon level. Here, everything goes to intelligence, because I don't see any particular sense in boosting my movement speed. Actually, I'm gonna reset that one. Or maximum arcane power. It's sufficiently enough for me as it is. Defense. Attack speed or cooldown reduction. Probably I will boost those two as well as the critical hit damage as soon as I escalate in the critical hit chance, which actually dropped now a little bit, since the gear items that I have got do not offer this much critical hit chance as they used to before the patch, so I'm boosting the critical hit chance over here. Defense. Well, I see no sense in boosting life, since the items you are given after the patch give you a lot of vitality, and Here we go. Look at this. I have more than 100k hit points. That's actually brilliant. So you don't have to boost your life. Resist all. Just believe me, you will get enough all resistances on the gear you are dropped as well. Life regeneration. Well, life regeneration didn't function well enough before the patch, and it doesn't function well enough after the patch either. It's much more relevant to actually rely on life on hit. This is what actually I boosted here, because life on hit is something I didn't used to have before the patch. This is why, and this is like core characteristic now. This is what I should get. This is what you should get in order to survive. But for health globes and the health potions, there is no other means of healing yourself. And since your health is increased like crazy, you must find some way to stay healed. And life on hit is actually the most efficient way to do that. Gold find only if you have to, only if you want to prioritize that goal of raking in that gold. You may boost that instead of life on hit. Resource cost reduction. Since that didn't change much, why I should boost that up, as well as area effect damage. If you see my particular gear, I have a lot of area of effect damage skills. Arcane Orb, Spectral Blade, Hydra, which is Arcane Hydra as well, every last skill, and Familiar, which is a Cannoneer, also area effect damaging. Moonlight Ward, hitting an enemy within 15 yards has a chance to ward you with shards of arcane energy that explode when enemies get close, dealing 244% weapon damage as arcane to enemies within 15 yards. So that's also area of effect damage. I see no reason at all boosting my area of effect damage over here. This is why I came up with, I think, of course, you might have got different gear as you got this. Speaking about skill, you need is that teleportation with a wormhole, because that speeds you up to a great extent, covering a lot of distances, especially helps in searching for that Vault of Assassin. And every other skill is pretty much a damage skill. Do not get that difficulty level too high, because if you want to farm not experience but gear, you might just want to prioritize that lower difficulty, because the gear you will be dropped, you will be given, is actually the same quality as you would be given on high monster difficulty and high monster power. Why Torment and not normal? Well, that's clear enough. I would like to get experience simultaneously, so why not raise it the very way I could retain efficiency and speed at the same time. Here we go. You might actually see that I got... How much did I get? Like 2 bars. And I didn't fight much, since I got like 188 Paragon level and still get quite a lot. Actually, without any support in experience. I don't have a socket in a helm. I'm not wearing that ring of experience you could craft. So that's, I find, quite an efficient way. If you have some other way of doing that already, you may go ahead and write something in a comment, or connect me directly via the links on my YouTube page out there. I would be glad to learn about your own experience, and this is what I come up with after the patch on my second look at the game. Still, all that is gonna change a lot, I'm gonna progress a lot, but this is just some sort of stitch in time that I have at this particular moment. So thank you for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you appropriate my experience for her own self. And for now, see you soon. Zaber Haft out.